everyone. I'm Aparna, Sinha, Director of Product Management at Google Cloud. Welcome to our Cloud keynote. I'm here along with Izatt from Google Workspace. Thank you for taking time out of your busy week to join us at this exciting time for developers with Google Cloud. Today's keynote will focus on the Built to Help theme that you've been hearing throughout I/O. Built to Help is a guiding principle at Google, and it runs through all our work, connecting our consumer and cloud products. At Google, we're passionate about developers, and we are humbled and inspired by the amazing innovations that you've introduced using Google products. You've told us that you appreciate the simplicity of Google Cloud services. That is not a given on other clouds, where the complexity can be overwhelming. Making technology easier for developers doesn't happen by chance. Google is deeply invested in ensuring a developer-centric cloud where everyone can innovate. You've told us loud and clear that you want more time to code and less toil. So today, we will demo several new services from Google Cloud and Google Workspace that are powerful yet simple to use. How does Google Cloud make the developer experience easier? Well, first, our services integrate nicely, giving you a full stack that's specifically tailored to backend, web, mobile, and data analytics applications. The stack aligns Google Cloud's compute, storage, database, and AI and ML services to the needs of your application. Second, critical technology expertise from years of Google research is directly built into these stacks. As a result, you don't have to be a full-stack developer. You can build like one. The value of an end-to-end stack is that it helps you get started quickly on day one, and that means faster time to market. But down the road, it also means that we've proactively solved your day 2 and day 3 challenges like scalability, observability, and software supply chain security. Now, the biggest day 1 challenge is often iterating until you find product market fit for your service. Take an example. Let's say we're trying to get a new mobile app off the ground. Our demo app, Community Assist, is going to connect people to volunteer opportunities in their community. Firebase is going to be a really good option for us because of its excellent A/B testing capabilities and also because it helps us set up our auth flow. Over 3 million developers from startups to enterprises have been using Firebase to engage billions of users. In this demo, we're going to show you additional benefits of this stack, like the downstream integration with Cloud Functions, Cloud Firestore, BigQuery, Cloud Run, and other services. Now, to reach our addressable market, our app needs to be accessible by everyone in our community. And that means we need to support languages from around the world. The Google Cloud Translate API is perfect for this. Cloud Functions for Firebase can in fact be used to trigger the Translate API. Here's a simple function that we've written. Let's test it and try translating the phrase from English to my favorite language, Hindi. Here is the output in Hindi. यहाँ किन संगठनों को मदद की ज़रूरत है? And with a few more lines of code, we can support not just Hindi, but over 100 world languages. Now, to really test product market fit, we're going to add an in-app feedback form to the community app, and that's going to help us see what's resonating with our users and what isn't. A common challenge here is making sense of the unstructured free text feedback data that we're going to hear from our users. This again is where Google Cloud's integrated stack comes in. As you can see, this stack integrates Firebase with BigQuery, Vertex AI, and other services through Cloud Firestore. So what you get here is database, compute, analytics, and AI and ML services integrated together for a faster application development experience. Cloud Firestore is an excellent option for mobile and web development. It's a NoSQL database with built-in integrations to Firebase and Flutter and to Google Cloud. And because it's serverless, we never have to worry about maintaining it or scaling it. In our app, the incoming customer feedback is free text data, and we're storing it in Firestore. So let's check this out in Firestore for the comments. Here we see that our users are saying, "How can I find organizations near me?" Or, "This app is amazing." Well, it looks like some of our users are liking the app. Firestore has a really great integration with BigQuery. It easily exports the data to BigQuery. BigQuery is an industry-leading, fully managed, serverless cloud data warehouse that can scale to hundreds of petabytes. BigQuery customers analyze over 110 terabytes of data per second, so we're in very good hands here. Let's check out how this works. We've installed the Firestore to BigQuery extension. Here you can see the customer feedback. Love the new features, as well as how do I upgrade my app to unlock donations. This is all in CloudStore. These same comments can also now be seen in BigQuery thanks to the extension we just installed. Super straightforward, easy, yet very powerful. Because with our data in BigQuery, we can uncover deep insights quickly using Vertex AI. We're going to use Vertex AI to categorize each of our user inputs into one of three categories. It's either a bug report, or it's feedback, or it's a pricing issue. Vertex AI is Google Cloud's unified artificial intelligence platform. It provides building blocks for various machine learning applications like vision, video, and many more. Vertex AI offers core services for data science, machine learning, and ML ops in a single unified platform. You can also go deeper into custom model development. Overall, in comparison to other platforms, training a model with Vertex AI requires 80% less code, and most importantly, you don't need to be an ML expert or a PhD to leverage Vertex AI. Let's see this in action and classify our user input into those three categories. We've trained a model to detect different types of feedback. Check out our model here in the Models tab. We click on the model name, and it takes us to the confusion matrix that's shown in blue. This matrix shows us how often the model has classified each label correctly. Over here, we have the Test and Deploy tab that allows us to deploy our model to a REST endpoint. From there, we can easily call it from a web or mobile app. Plus, it lets us make sample predictions right here from within the UI. Let's try a sample now. Here's a text. The loading times are so slow now on my Pixel 4. In fact, the model correctly identified that this is a bug report. Shall we try another one? This text says, "Thank you for this release. The new features are great." And we can see that the model predicted this to be feedback, and does that with pretty high confidence. Now, let's say we want to use this model from a mobile or web app. Right here in Vertex AI, we can see the Python code that we would need. This code can be used to call this cloud-hosted model from our app. There's also client libraries in other languages available. But we actually want to use this model to make predictions on our text data that's stored in BigQuery. So how can we call Python functions on BigQuery data? Well, to do that, we will use BigQuery remote functions. This is a brand new capability in BigQuery. Here you see our customer input data in BigQuery without any categories. Let's add a classification column to show the categories assigned by Vertex AI. We're going to use a cloud function to call the Vertex model we just built to classify each piece of input as a bug report, feedback, or pricing issue within BigQuery. You can use any language that Cloud Function supports, but today, as you can see, we're using Python. Next, we'll call this function using SQL within BigQuery. Let's run the query. And here you can see the user input data is categorized right back here in BigQuery. BigQuery remote functions are not only easy to use, but also very powerful because they combine BigQuery with any Google Cloud product or API. That was a great example of automation, but there's much more you can do with Google Cloud services. Let's take this further and automate the appropriate action for each category of our user input. We want bug reports filed on GitHub as issues. Guess what? That's easy. We can use Cloud Run and its newly launched serverless jobs capability that lets us run batch jobs on demand, on a schedule, or via an event trigger. We've built a Cloud Run job to extract the bug reports from our data and create GitHub issues for our team to triage and fix. I can schedule my job to execute whenever I want it to. I've been running it nightly, but let's trigger the job manually to see it run now. While it's running, I'll mention that this isn't the only job we have. We love Cloud Run jobs, so we also have jobs to move customer service issues to the customer service ticket tracker, and a job to create an email summary of each day's feedback for our executives. And now, our job has finished executing. And you can see that there's a new issue tagged Mobile Bug Report in GitHub, just as it should be. This has the comments that a user put into our mobile app earlier. Cloud Run jobs can run multiple tasks in parallel, so we can scale our app as we grow. I encourage you to try out Firestore, Cloud Functions, Cloud Run jobs, BigQuery, and Vertex AI to accelerate the time to market of your latest innovations. Once you've found product market fit, a new set of challenges will await you as your app grows to millions of users. These day 2 or day 3 challenges include scalability, observability, and software supply chain security. Fortunately, we have used serverless technology throughout our app so far. BigQuery, Cloud Functions, and Cloud Run are fully managed serverless capabilities, so as we get more users, they're going to scale up automatically. But let's look at a more difficult scalability challenge. As our app grew, so did the volunteers and opportunities, and we decided to add a map view to our app to show volunteers what opportunities are nearby. Google Maps platform is a popular API amongst developers because of its scale, coverage, and familiarity. We stored our volunteer and opportunity location data in a Postgres database because Postgres has great location data support out of the box. But as it turned out, our growth was much faster than the Postgres database could handle. These red pins here on the map show how strong the interest has been. Now our app has started slowing down, and we're getting complaints about volunteer numbers not showing up right, as well as people signing up for already filled opportunities. What are we going to do? Well, we could optimize our database, but that would require having the right expertise in-house or the time to hire for it. We could shrink the scope of volunteers and opportunities to reduce the load on our database, but that's not really a good option because it would limit the growth of our app. Thankfully, we don't need to do either. AlloyDB is a new and powerful relational database from Google Cloud that's fully compatible with PostgreSQL. With AlloyDB, we can easily build apps and scale them to millions of users, all while using existing open source Postgres skills. And because AlloyDB is fully Postgres compatible, we can switch our Postgres instance to AlloyDB without making any changes to our application code or our queries. Most importantly here, the accelerated performance of AlloyDB means that we can continue querying our volunteer data in real time without slowing down the app. Success! Our next day 2 challenge is observability, which involves troubleshooting and isolating root causes of potential service disruptions. Google Cloud has us covered here. First, Our compute options, BigQuery, and Firebase have in-context observability data right within the Cloud Console. This one unified view across logs, events, metrics, and service level objectives requires zero setup to help quickly connect the dots and root cause day 2 problems. In addition to this, day 2 ops also requires cohesive monitoring, visualization, and diagnostics at the network level. That's why today I'm thrilled to announce the launch of Network Analyzer, a new tool that's part of the Network Intelligence Center in Google Cloud. Network Analyzer proactively analyzes configurations, firewall rules, routes, IP addresses, and network capacity utilization to detect potential problems and make recommendations that help you minimize mean time to resolution. Last but not least, we developers increasingly need to plan for potential security attacks. Although these can happen at any time, they are particularly damaging to an at-scale production system. Recent software supply chain hacks like SolarWinds, Mimecast, and CodeCov show the importance of securing each link in our supply chain, right from source through to deploy. Software supply chain security is natively built into Google Cloud's developer toolchain. This can be a great benefit for developers, especially if you're in a regulated industry such as fintech or retail. Cloud Build, our service for building, testing, and deploying code to VMs, serverless, Kubernetes, or Firebase, now offers SALSA Level 2 compliance by default. SALSA is an emerging standard that encapsulates industry best practices for software supply chain integrity. Cloud Build implements these practices by default, so you and I don't have to be security experts. Cloud Build also provides verifiable build provenance. This provenance helps you trace a binary to its source code to prevent tampering and to prove that the code you're running is the code that you think you're running. You can see here an attestation. This is metadata about the build. It's labeled Built by Cloud Build. This metadata indicates that the build is legitimate because it's signed by Cloud Build, the service. Cloud Build is the first service to offer a zero configuration out-of-the-box experience for build provenance. Stitching together this type of experience is not straightforward in competing products. Google Cloud also offers binary authorization integration, which ensures that only builds verified by Cloud Build are deployed to production. Here you can see us trying to deploy an image. This image is not verified or signed by Cloud Build. And so, with binary authorization, this deployment step fails. And when we try deploying an image that is signed by Cloud Build, it goes through to deployment. In summary, what we've shown you today showcases our integrated end-to-end stack and how it can help you get started quickly to achieve accelerated time to market on day 1 and also to proactively solve your pressing day 2 and day 3 issues like scalability, observability, and software supply chain security. Before I go, I want to talk about one more innovation that is hot off the presses. It allows you to easily develop interactive experiences for your customers and prospects. We're excited to announce Immersive Stream for XR. This service renders extended reality experiences using Google Cloud's GPUs, and it streams them to millions of mobile devices around the world. By using Immersive Stream for XR, you can engage your users in an immersive, interactive, photorealistic experience without them ever having to download an app. And best of all, you'll save time on development and testing because you can simply create content once, knowing that it will run on any mobile device, regardless of model, year, or operating system. Immersive Stream for XR powers our interactive flyover experience for maps that Sundar announced during his keynote. And it's also powering a next-generation car buying experience from Ford, as well as my favorite, an augmented reality kitchen visualizer by Lowe's, and a virtual shopping assistant by KDDI. To get started, visit this URL, including interactive demos from our partners. We can't wait to see what you create with this technology and the end-to-end stack from Google Cloud. With that, I'd like to welcome Matthew Izatt to share all about the innovation coming to you from Google Workspace.
Thanks, Aparna. It's great to see all the incredible innovation for developers coming from Google Cloud. Hi, everyone. I'm Matthew Izatt, Product Lead for the Google Workspace platform. And I'm here to show you the latest opportunities for developers to enhance your development productivity and deliver powerful joint solutions with Google Workspace. Google Workspace is firstly a product and platform that gives software developers all the tools they need to work efficiently together, collaborate on a design document, chat about a production incident, or meet live and be productive from anywhere. But not only is Workspace a product for developers to innovate with, it's a platform to build on. You can integrate with, customize, and extend Workspace. Combining Workspace with your ingenuity, your talent, and your products means together we'll offer even greater productivity solutions. 1 + 1 truly becomes 3 when we build better together. Google Workspace is a platform for developers. I mentioned integrating with, customizing, and extending Workspace. Integrate with Workspace through dozens of enterprise-quality APIs, covering everything from Workspace apps like Gmail and Drive, to admin controls, to solutions for managing identity. Customize through automating your previously tedious manual and multi-step processes. Extend Workspace by building seamless user experiences directly into the Workspace UI. It's also a platform for creating software and can improve the software development experience. Developers can connect their DevOps tools to Workspace to improve their efficiency and accelerate software development. For example, manage and discuss your Jira tickets in Google Chat. And finally, Workspace is also a platform and a team that developers can partner with, going to market with global reach so you can be where your present and future users are. Let's take a look at some of the opportunities to integrate with or develop on Workspace. We'll start with Google Workspace Add-ons, available across Workspace to connect apps that work better together. Add-ons enable you to develop tight integrations into the Google experience, living side by side with where knowledge workers are spending most of their days. Add-ons are built on an open framework that lets you use your preferred language, development stack, and preferred cloud provider. Of course, we think you'll have the smoothest and most powerful experience building your add-ons in Google Cloud. The add-on framework is very flexible. Build once and make the add-on available across both desktop and mobile, and in one or many Workspace apps, such as Gmail, Calendar, Drive, and Docs. Google Chat is not only an effective communications tool, it's also a powerful ally to optimize workflows. Integrate with Google Chat to create a user experience that's interactive, inline, and intelligent with the power of Google AI. We are continuously improving the chat platform to make it more powerful and easier to develop for. We're excited about recent developments to help you build better chat apps. Interactive cards and dialogues allow users to interact with your app through a graphical interface. No need to remember obscure commands or guess at keywords. Reassign that Asana task with just a click. For power users and hyper-efficiency, nothing beats slash commands. Slash commands make addressing chat apps faster and help users get the most out of your app. Link previews help keep information in line and in context within the conversation, while eliminating the need to interrupt your focus by context switching between multiple apps to find key information. And finally, we've worked on offering a wider selection of design options for the card interface. These improvements are a set of visual updates and new widget offerings for a better experience. Put it all together, and what you see is that we're really helping our demonstration users, and in Shirley, move efficiently through the design phase of the desk booking app they are working on. For when you need more direct control of resources in chat, we are happy to announce new updates to the Chat API. With our expansion of the Chat API, we will offer the ability to create, read, update, and delete all the key resources in Google Chat, from individual messages to spaces. So for example, developers will now be able to use the Chat API to create new spaces and add the right members to the space programmatically. We added these new features to help you build more powerful applications on top of chat, and it's immediately obvious how helpful these can be for developers. For example, an incident response app such as PagerDuty will now be able to automatically create a space with the relevant incident commanders when an outage has been detected. On the roadmap, we are also planning to roll out more APIs. Let me describe a couple examples. First, APIs for create group chats and create direct messages offer you more ways to programmatically initiate conversations and actions across teams. Additionally, when you want to provide assistance in a space without users having to initiate a request, we will permit apps to listen to all messages in a space, so an app can proactively jump in to help as needed. To get more details on the updates for chat, join my colleague Ramesh in an I/O session covering what's new in the world of Google Chat apps. Google at its heart is a company built by developers, and as a developer, we recognize that IDEs and repositories aren't the only tools you need to build software. You also need to connect your development tool chain to your communications tools, like Google Chat, to keep the engineering team connected as part of the development lifecycle. Whether a build failed, a prod push got interrupted, or your team has finally finished that last sprint towards building their desk booking app, you'll want to use some of these leading DevOps tools to help you get your work done. And we have more in the pipeline, so stay tuned. Now let's take a quick look at one of these DevOps tools, PagerDuty. We're thrilled to announce the new PagerDuty app for chat. When a production system is down, you want automated incident management and quick team actions in chat. And yes, in the era of hybrid and flexible office work, I would definitely consider a failure of your desk booking app to be a production incident. Fortunately, the combination of chat and PagerDuty are here to help your team respond quickly and resolve the problem. Moving on to another area of the Workspace platform, we're thrilled to announce new APIs for live sharing in Google Meet. With Meet live sharing, users can now share real-time, interactive experiences with each other via Google Meet, so everyone can feel part of the action. From a developer perspective, there are two key new aspects. First, Meet's new State Sync API will sync your app's content across all participant devices with shared controls. Second, cross-platform, multi-screen support allows you to programmatically launch a picture-in-picture version of Meet to simultaneously show the meeting in the same view as your content. And yes, I said cross-platform. Anywhere you can run Meet, which is pretty much anywhere. Web, Android, iOS, even Chromecast. You can integrate and experience live sharing. I'm sure you'd love to get more details, and we have a lot more to share. Learn how to enable shared experiences across platforms in a session presented by PMs from Google Meet and YouTube. When you've built an integration using one of the new features above, or our already great Gmail Drive or Calendar APIs, you'll then focus on distribution. For that, the Google Workspace Marketplace is the place where you can have global visibility with all Workspace users. We've seen billions of app installs by Workspace users and thousands of apps published by developers in the marketplace. But what if you're building a private app meant for your company only? Perhaps it's that custom desk booking app that we've seen a lot of today. Fortunately, the marketplace is also designed to be the vehicle for deployment within a company, either through administrator-driven deployments or through special sections in the marketplace, clearly indicating internal apps approved for specific internal users. We've also made many recent enhancements to the marketplace. For admins, you can now deploy chat apps via domain-wide installation from the marketplace. As well, admins now have more granular app access controls through organizational units or groups. For end users, admins, and anyone who is exploring the marketplace, we've strengthened transparency and disclosure, improving app descriptions, permissions, and reviews. We've also added the Approved for You category, so users have a clear indication of IT-approved applications. Finally, for developers and distributors, we've enhanced the developer dashboard and updated the marketplace badge to help discovery. Opportunity abounds with the Workspace platform. Reach billions of users and millions of paying businesses across the world. There are not many platforms today that provide this scale of reach for developers. The breadth of the Workspace platform offering enables you to build a wide range of solutions. Build tight integrations into all the Workspace apps for a seamless experience. Create intelligent workflows using chat. Transform business data accessible via dozens of APIs into strategic insights. Use a single identity across many services. And finally, impact. Customers choose Workspace because it transforms their business and drives productivity and strategic thinking. Add your ingenuity and insights, and the impact we can have together is unlimited. Thanks again for joining our cloud team today. Here are a few links to learn more about today's topics. We can't wait to see what you build with Workspace and Google Cloud. Thanks, and enjoy the rest of I/O.